Everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Timmy Treacle, and here is another top 10 list. Yes, I'm doing my top 10 favorite Danny Glover films. I love Danny Glover ever since I've seen him in the first Lethal Weapon film. He's a great actor, especially when it comes to action comedy films. And his teaming up with Mel Gibson is one of the best duos in cinema history, in my opinion, especially in the action genre films. And so today I thought I'd give you my top 10 favorite Danny Glover films. There are some honorable mentions. Those are Witness, Saw 5, Dirty Grandpa, Switchback, and Proud Mary. Um, some of those films are decent. Proud Mary wasn't really good. That came out this year. Blindness was a good film. Uh, Dirty Grandpa, he had more of a cameo role in that film. Be Kind Rewind was dumb. And Witness was a good film. That was from 1985. But here are my top 10 favorite Danny Glover films. Number 10 is Saw from 2004. If you don't know already, Saw is one of my favorite horror films of all time. The final scene in the film is one of the most shocking endings to a film I've ever seen, not only in horror films, but any genre, period. And what these guys did with this film was phenomenal. And Carrie Elwes and Danny Glover starred in this film, and Tobin Bell. Um, Basically, this film is about people being put in life and death situations where they don't appreciate their life, they take it for granted. And so, this character, um, Tobin Bell, plays Jigsaw. He puts them in a compromised position where they have to fight for their life, whether they have to try and get out of some sort of uh, face gear, or if they have to dig into someone's body to get a key, or dig out their own eye, whatever it is. This film delivers everything you need from a horror film. And Danny Glover plays a cop in this film, and he's trying to solve these um, murders, which technically it's not murder because they do it to themselves. It's kind of a sticky situation, but nonetheless, ever since I seen this film, I love this franchise. I just recently watched Jigsaw that came out, and I love this franchise, and I can't wait to see more if they decide to make more. But yeah, Saw number 10, a great film and a great performance by Danny Glover. Coming to number 9 is a film I'm currently watching right now with the volume down low, and that is the film 2012 from the year 2009. If you just recently watched uh, a video I just posted on 2012, you'll hear me talk about the film. But this movie is phenomenal. The special effects are top notch, and Danny Glover, as the President of the United States, did a great job. This film stars Woody Harrelson, John Cusack, Amanda Peet, and Oliver Platt, and it is an amazing film. It's a little more than 2.5 hours, but I love these disaster films. My favorite one being The Day After Tomorrow, which I'll do a top 10 list of them eventually coming up too. So look forward to that. But yeah, 2012, he does a great job. Even though he's not the main character in this film, as a side character or a co-star, he does a great job, and he definitely deserves to be in the top 10. Coming to number 8 is a remake, and it's 1994's Angels in the Outfield. I've never seen the original, but I love this remake. It is really funny. It has a very young Joseph Gordon-Levitt in this film. Danny Glover plays the manager of the Angels who has a bad team. He he came from Cincinnati when he won World Series and all that, and he stuck with a lot of young players and old veterans. Tony Danza plays a pitcher in this film. Young Matthew McConaughey is in this film. He plays an outfielder. And he's great in this film, too. But I love this story. I love the characters. Basically, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character prays for the Angels to win so he could be with his father again, because his father basically gave him up and said that the way they would be a family again is if the Angels won the pennant. And so he prays for Angels, and lo and behold, Christopher Lloyd comes down as an angel, and it helps the team win. But along the way, it's just during the regular season, and they only show up if the manager is nice and he's not swearing and cussing like he normally is. And so they put on a hell of a few months, and they get into the championship game for the division. It's a one-game playoff. And one thing is with the Angels is they do not help with the playoffs. They'll help during the regular season, but then they're on their own. And Tony Danza, of course, is an aging pitcher who blew out his arm, but he had a great regular season because of the Angels. But in this playoff game, he does it on his own, but he thinks there's an angel with him. It's a great story, and I really like to see the original film, but I love this remake. Danny Glover as the manager is hysterical, and I love the cast. Coming number 6 is a film I just watched a month ago. It was a television release from 2000 called Freedom Song, and it had to do with the murders of those civil rights activists, the 2 African American and the 1 Jewish kid who were killed back in the mid 60s. I can't remember. It was either 64 or 68, I think. And it basically follows Danny Glover's character and their fight for their rights, their civil rights. And it just goes to show you how bad that was. And this is not a long time ago. This is, it's only been 50 years, 50 to 60 years. And it just shows how much we've grown, but we're still not there yet. And I've seen many different films on just this story alone, and I love it. I really like to know a lot more. And the killers were finally brought to justice for violating their civil rights. But today, they would have been put to death for what they did. But regardless, this is a great film. If you can find it on Xfinity on demand or Netflix, definitely check it out. It is a fantastic film. Coming at number 5 is Lethal Weapon 4. This is from 1998. A lot of critics really didn't like this film as much. I love it. It adds new characters, especially Chris Rock's character, who's going to be the son-in-law to Danny Glover's character, Martin Riggs, because he is marrying his oldest daughter, and they're having a baby. Along with that, Mel Gibson's character, Riggs, is having a baby with his new love interest, and it's a great film. There's a lot of laughs. The scene when they're in the dentist office is hysterical. They're questioning Benny about where their friends are being held. Joe Pesci as Leo Getz is phenomenal. He's just hysterical. I love this franchise, and number 4 deserves to be at number 4 because, as you're going to see, the other films are going to be higher on this list. Coming at Lethal Weapon 4 was number 5. But coming at number 4 is Lethal Weapon 3. That is from 1992. And the critics love the first 3 films. This film, again, we get introduced to Rene Russo, and they're trying to catch a former cop who is killing cops. And they have these special bullets that can penetrate anything. And So they try to track him down with the help of their friend Leo Getz, who in this third film is a real estate agent who is trying to sell Roger's house along the way. And uh, of course, not only stopping the former cop, along the way, they end up killing a friend of Murtaugh's son, Daryl, in this film. And it introduces a great Boyz II Men song in this film. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Um, but it just goes to show you how guns and gun violence and the crime of not only guns but drugs and everything is just out of hand. And it's heartbreaking when you lose a child. But again, that child had an automatic weapon and was trying to kill the two cops. So you can grieve, but you can't feel sorry for him because of what he was wanting to do. But this is a great sequel and definitely worth the number 4 spot in my top 10. I got that one right. All right. But coming in number 3 is Blindness from 2008. Blindness is a film I just watched last year, and it stars Julianne Moore and Mark Ruffalo. And what happens is people start getting this, I don't know if they call it a disease, but they were getting blindness, and they couldn't figure out where it was coming from and if it was going to be permanent. And so they quarantine this large city, and they put these people basically up in prisons so they can't affect anybody else. And along the way, they have to live blind. But Julianne Moore's character is the only one that's not affected by this. And so she helps everybody with the whole bathroom thing. But eventually, you see the groups divide where one wants to take over and control everything, and the other group basically has to suffer. And there's a scene in this film where the women are raped, are forced to have sex just to get food. And I thought that to be really sad. But eventually in this film, the blindness towards the end of the movie goes away. And the first guy that was affected, Mark Ruffalo, is able to see. And eventually they find out that this wasn't going to be a permanent thing. And had they just relaxed and not panicked, they would have found that out. But you know how the world is, you know how our country is when it comes to things like this. And yes, you have to be careful and safe and take the precautions to not want it to spread. But at the same time, this is what can happen when it gets out of control. But it's a great film. Definitely check it out. And definitely worth a top 3 spot in my opinion. And coming to number 2 is Lethal Weapon 2 from 1989. This film, of course, follows the 1987 film. And in this film, they're trying to stop these people from bringing in gold pieces, Cougaran in this film. And of course, Martin Riggs and Roger Murtaugh. This is where you meet Leo Getz, and he's in protective custody because he's going to testify against these guys. But he's in trouble. Basically, has a hit put on him because of the money he laundered and he stole. And yeah, like I said, this is when we first meet him, and he's a great character and a great actor for this franchise. Excuse me a second. And yeah, I just really enjoy his character. Danny Glover as Roger Murtaugh is phenomenal. He and Mel Gibson, their chemistry in this franchise and in this movie is hysterical. It opens up with a chase scene. They're chasing down these guys who to believe they're smuggling gold and whatnot, and and because they are from a different country, they have diplomatic immunity and they can't be touched. And so they start a war with the LAPD, and these diplomats start picking off cops one by one. And there's a scene where Murtaugh is stuck on the toilet because there's a bomb on the toilet, and if he stands up, it goes off. That scene is phenomenal. Great buddy cop scene. But this film overall, it's a great film. I love the antagonists in this film, the chase scenes, and Leo gets just a great film. And definitely worth the number 2 spot, because the number 1 spot, if you don't know what it is, then where the hell have you been? The number 1 spot and the number 1 film for Danny Glover is Lethal Weapon, 1987. This is what got the franchise started. Roger Murtaugh is days from retirement. He gets a new partner, Martin Riggs, and he is basically a loose cannon and is suicidal. He lost his wife, and you'll find out in the second film what happened to his wife. And but he's still upset and he's suicidal, but at the same time gets the job done and becomes a great partner with Danny Glover. And the antagonist of this film is played by Gary Busey. And the fight scene in this film, towards the end of the film, one of the best fight scenes in any movie. Doesn't matter. I don't care what anybody says. But I love this film. I love this franchise. Danny Glover in this film is phenomenal. I love all 4 films, as you can see by my top 10. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about that Forrest Gump. But that is my top 10 Danny Glover films. So in the comment section below, did you like my top 10 list? Did you agree with it? Give me your top 10 films for Danny Glover. I love the franchise of Lethal Weapon films. They were supposed to make a 5th one, I was hoping. I really hope they don't remake this franchise. If they were going to, they made the TV show, which I love, which is on Wednesday nights on Fox. Clayne Crawford played Martin Riggs, and Damon Wayans plays Roger Murtaugh, and Thomas Lennon plays Leo Guest. But the show is great, but they're going to remake it. I really hope they use Damon Wayans. I really wish they were going to use Clayne Crawford, but he got himself fired, and Sean William Scott is going to take over the role. But if they do remake it or make another film, it better be worth it. That's all I got to say. But other than that, that is my top 10 favorite Danny Glover films. So if you liked it, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and please share my videos. And let's talk about movies in top 10s. I love talking about anything, action films, horror films, comedies, animated films. As I said, as you see, I do my top 10s. I might even start talking about TV shows and do my top 10 favorite TV shows from the 70s, 80s, 90s until today. As a matter of fact, I think I will. But look forward to those videos in the future. I am uploading a lot of videos today. I really wish I could do one a day, which is what I really like to do. But because of my situation, being paralyzed and doctor visits and everything, I'm not able to do so. But I was glad I'm able to post these 4 videos today. I hope you enjoy them and look forward to some new videos in the future. And look forward to new movie reviews as I get to watch these movies a few months after their theatrical release, because I can't get to movie theaters. But I appreciate you guys watching my videos. Please like and share and subscribe today for more content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.